Hey guys, welcome. Let's do a video on Goat Simulator. That's not a phrase I ever really imagined myself uttering in the world, but, you know, we'll pretend it's normal and we'll go on. I'd like to start by saying that the team is working on secret stuff. Who knows what that means? Also, I'd like to start by saying this Armin man actually gave me a copy of the game. Just like a review code, basically, which was very nice of him. That does not mean that I will give the game unwavering praise, but I am not known to be a harsh critic, and also, it's a silly joke game. So let's get into it. I would first like to say that, options, okay. I would first like to say that this menu is not working right now for me. I would like to click this options menu button, but the goat has declared that I shall not do so, so let's just play. Actually, it does not want me to do that either, so what if I press enter? That is not going to happen, apparently. Oh, there we go, the game now has decided that I can play. Anyway, we'll just pretend that's normal. So, firstly, that is indeed a super secret tunnel. But, yes, here we go. Welcome to Goat Simulator. As you can tell, it is one of the finest pieces of art that the Unreal Engine has ever been tasked to render. But all jokes aside, it's actually not a bad-looking game, to be honest. I mean, it's not spectacular, but again, it's not really meant to be. So, you can go to Goat Tower, finally in the world, and I was pretty happy about this, launching the game for the first time. And when I discovered that I could go into the top of Goat Tower, and then become Queen of the Goats, well, ow. That is when things got even more interesting. So if you can't tell by now, this is a joke. This game is... It was made as a sort of little joke thing, and it had so much sort of praise, so much acclaim by people that just said, you know what, make it into a game that we can play. So they did. They being Coffee Stain Studios, the people that made the Sanctum games. Angel Goat, I am an angel goat. I don't know what this does for me, but I have a halo, so... Oh my god, I am terrifying looking. Alright. Oh, I can jump really high. Goats for the Goat Throne. Seems like I can jump higher than I could before. I'm almost positive. Anyway, Coffee Stain Studios made the Sanctum games, that being Sanctum, Sanctum 2, and Super Sanctum TD, which are tower defense games. Very interesting ones. Sanctum and Sanctum 2 in particular are first-person tower defense games. They're quite interesting, really. But, so they went and, on the whim of a joke, made this. And it's a parody, basically. Yes, I can do this. It is a parody of the sort of silly simulator games, the fad that you see here and there. And, it was made slow motion. Yeah. It was made as a joke at first, as I said, but people wanted it so bad that they released a sort of full game version. And this is what it is. It is basically a physics playground. You are a goat. You are in this small world. It's fairly small. What you've seen is pretty much all of it. I mean, I'll explore it during the video for you, but it's... Basically, you're a goat, and you are given these little objectives on the side, and you're basically just... You make your fun. You know, you jump around, you headbutt things, you spaz the crap out to the point where you're... Yes. And you just explore this little world that they've created. And there are various little secrets and challenges hidden along. As you can see, I got Angel Goat somehow. Probably by not killing all the other goats. I became the Queen of the Goats, with that nice little Warhammer reference, and can spawn goat peasants now. You can become Satan Goat. Yes, you can sacrifice things to the devil. I think you can do something with that hang glider, but I haven't quite been able to yet. You can become a super buff goat by finding and winning an arena match, which is quite interesting. I am an angel goat. Fly! I said fly! Yeah. That's a little anti-gravity place there, which is pretty fun. Or low gravity, I suppose. And, yeah, it's this little pre-constructed world with a ton of little fun things to do and discover. All these, you know, find the Easter eggs, there's like, I think something from Sanctum in that container right there. That blue container. And yeah, there are assorted little... No, come back! I want to lick you! No, balls. Whee! But yeah, there are assorted little things for you to do. As you can tell, it's sort of a little playground. But, there's been a bit of controversy over it because... God. Because, yes, it's very silly, but they're also selling it for $10. It isn't just a little toy, because those are usually free, and this isn't. Now... I usually try not to watch videos before I do my own, but in this case, I watched Total Biscuits because it came out just before I was going to do my own, so I was like, what the heck, I'll watch it. It's Goat Simulator. His opinion's probably not going to color mine, it's just a silly little simulator. And what I found out is that there are a lot of people that, I don't know, they got, like, upset at his opinion, even though, I mean, he just said he didn't like it, basically. That's all that was said. I don't really understand all of, like, the anger there, but whatever. And, I don't really blame him. I like it, because it's just a little bit of silly fun. But it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's type of humor, and if you were to critique it purely from the, is it a good game? Well, it's barely is a game. It's just a little physics playground thing. It's, it's mostly a toy. But I have a little bit more to say on that a little later in the video. Now, that was awesome, by the way, if I would have landed it, but I don't really see the reason to be all upset about it. I mean, all the things that he said are pretty much right. He might have had a couple of misinformed statements here and there about, like, the size of the game. It's a little larger than what he showed in his video, but really that doesn't matter for the critique that he placed. But anyway, this isn't the Total Biscuit defense channel. I'm just saying, I don't really understand the hatred towards that video. But anyway, it's obviously meant to be a joke, and some people are saying, you can't critique it because it's meant to be a joke. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a parody. But the thing is, it is being sold on Steam for $10, so in my opinion, it's totally fair critiquing it as a game because it's presenting itself as one, yeah? And as a game, there's not a lot to it, I have to be honest. Even though I enjoy it, it's small. It's a small game. There's, if I'm gonna do this so you can see the map from up high, what you see is really all there is. And there are no greater objectives. There's no story or campaign, obviously. You're a goat, the end of story. And this little square here that you see, this is all of it. This is the entire map. And again, I'll have a little more on that later, but what I'd like to start off by saying is, if you're going into this looking for a physics sandbox, you're gonna be disappointed. That's not actually what it is. And I want to take a quote from Total Biscuit's video, because he said exactly what I was thinking, and I want to give him all credit for this particular quote. He came up with this, not me, so don't yell at me, please, TB. He said, "It's not a sandbox, it's a theme park." And that is exactly what it is. If you're going into this expecting, an experience to entirely make your own fun in this big sandbox of physics while being a goat and being silly, that's not what it is. You are a goat, and it is silly, but that's where that similarity stops. Wait! It's very glitchy, but not glitchy to the point where it's game-breaking. There are some game-breaking glitches, but they are actually going to patch those. They're fixing those. Whereas the just glitchy physics and stuff like that, they're keeping because it's hilarious. Yeah. And they've said that, that was their plan. There are little collectibles around the place. There are little goat statues that unlock other goats, and we'll talk about the unlocks in a minute as well. And, oh my god! And as you can see, all these little purple sort of score objectives are all these little secrets hidden around the level. And that's what the game is. You're going around this predefined level. It's not a sandbox. And you're finding things, and you're having a silly fun time, and that's really it. And if you're looking for anything more than that, you're gonna be disappointed. So throw all preconceptions of this being like a big physics sandbox out the window. If you want one of those, go buy Gary's Mod. Gary's Mod is the same price, and it offers a much better experience if that's what you're looking for. But that's not, that's not what this is. So I'd like to make a point, if I can, by taking it a little seriously for just a minute. Yes, it's a joke game, I get that, but it is still being sold, and I wanna make a serious point about it. And that is, it's a theme park, and it scratches an itch that I forgot that I had as a gamer. That kind of sounds kinky, I don't mean it that way. If you want to take it seriously for just a minute, it has value as this theme park kind of experience. It isn't just a silly, glitchy kind of throwaway thing, it does have value. And here's why. As a kid, I loved playing the Tony Hawk games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Tony Hawk's Underground in particular, the sort of PS1, PS2 era games, as well as some of the other kind of extreme sports games that followed that same route. You were in this level, one level, sometimes multiple different levels, but you can only be in one at a time is the point. It wasn't like a huge thing. And it was a predetermined level. You weren't expected to make your own fun. You were expected to have fun in the confines of what they made and find all the little secrets and triggers and Easter eggs around the level. And that's exactly what this is. Think of Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Think of the New Orleans level. How many times, if you ever played it, did you say, go to the graveyard and find the ghosts and like the skeletons in the thing and find the like the Bigfoot in the swamp, and then you could I missed one. And then you could go over, boom, go over to the, cause the event that, like, the apocalypse event, like, the street cracks open, and, like, the end of the world happens, and, like, zombies rise, and all that stuff. Like, that's what those games were about. It wasn't just about skating. The whole thing was you were in this predetermined playground. It wasn't a sandbox, but there was all kinds of little secrets and obscure little things to find. And, like, 90%, holy crap, 90% of the fun of that game, those games in general, was about that. It was about finding all the little secrets and the Easter egg things and all of the like little triggers to change the level. Like, how many levels could you find things like alien abductions and, like, find an alien spaceship and stuff and skate around on it? That is an itch I forgot I had as a gamer, because I've completely forgot how much I enjoyed those games as a kid, and this reminded me of that. So if you're going into this looking for a big physics sandbox, you're doing it wrong, unfortunately. That's not what you're going to find. This isn't Just Cause, this isn't Gary's Mod, this isn't... oh, I don't know, there are more of them. Oh, God, jeez. This isn't, say... gosh, I can't even think of another one right now, but in any event, this is almost like a Tony Hawk's Underground style game. You're not given this huge world to roam around in and make your own fun, this isn't Minecraft, where you make everything yourself and have your own fun. You're having fun on your own bounds in a sort of predetermined thing. And with all these little secrets and silly little Easter eggs and things, it reminds me so much of the Tony Hawk games. And I remember a particular, like, Supercross game, where you're on a dirt bike, and you could, like, spend half an hour going through this long, complex path of all these crazy jumps, and if you ever missed one, you had to start the whole path over. But if you did it all right and got to the very end of this, like, incredibly realistic Area 51, like, desert-style map, you could find a crashed alien spaceship with stuff in it. And, like, that was the appeal of those games. The whole point was to have fun, kind of make your own little challenges of, can I make this jump, etc., etc., can I pull off these crazy tricks on my own and stuff, woo! And what can I find in these levels? You would take each level and explore it until you think you found every single reference and Easter egg and unlock in that level. And that is something I forgot how much I enjoyed, and that is what this game is to me. So again, I know it's not to be taken that seriously, it's a bit of joking fun, but if I was to sort of critique it, since that's kind of, it's my job, I would compare it not to Gary's Mod or anything like that. I would compare it to the Tony Hawk games. It scratches that exact same itch, and I completely forgot I had that, and I thank this game for reminding me of that, because it's actually a lot of fun. And how much fun was, say, going to the editor with your friends and building your own crazy skate park in the Tony Hawk games, making like an entire maximum size level of just half pipes, and like stuff like that. And this game is going to do the exact same thing because it has full Steam Workshop support. In fact, I have a level downloaded that I'm going to show you guys. So, if we go back to the main menu, and it doesn't crash, you can also BA, which is a very important feature that I feel all games should have in future. So, if you go to the, there are tons of mutators. These are also, you can get these, by doing things and also download them from the workshop. Doing all sorts of different things. Blue streak. I'm gonna try this. But I have the hill, which is an alpha map that has been created. So this does the same thing as the Tony Hawk games, you know? It's got modding support. You can create your own levels and stuff, and your own mutators, your own lovely goats. And that's exactly the feeling that I get from this game, and I'm glad to have that feeling back. I forgot how much I enjoyed it. This is gonna be amazing. Oh, come on. Nail him. Nail him. Yeah. That is a big-ass trampoline. I doubt I can make it quite there, though. Ah, so close. Alright, there we go. Just flop my... Ah, jeez. Oh. So yeah, that's what this game is in general. If you feel like buying it, go ahead. It's $10 on Steam. It's not that expensive. It's a little bit of fun. And, with the whole workshop support thing, I think it could actually be a pretty great experience, reminiscent of those classic make-your-own kind of enjoyment experiences that weren't sandboxes. Even think of things like the original Far Cry and Far Cry Instinct's Predator, where you could find all this crazy stuff around the map and make your own maps with friends and stuff like that. This is, even though it's a kind of a silly joke, this actually harkens back to the kind of 2000 to 2004 era of gaming, in my opinion, in a strangely satisfying way. It reminds me of things I completely forgot about, and as much as it's kind of dumb probably for me to be taking it seriously like that, and kind of offering any sort of critique, that's honestly how I feel, and I like it. And that isn't going to be for everyone. Not everybody played those kinds of games, not everybody liked those kinds of games, and not everyone's going to get that vibe from this, but I certainly do, and I actually quite like it. That's not a bah. There we go. Good goat. Oh, crap. So, yeah. Oh, it's a Sonic reference. Of course, I'm a Sonic goat. I mean, what else would I possibly be? So yeah, it's a silly little game, only $10, with actually not a lot of content in it by itself, but with a possibility for a pretty nice amount of content. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Welp. I guess to the underworld we go. Oh, there's a trampoline down there. Lovely. But yeah, that's Goat Simulator, everyone. It's a silly little thing. And even if it isn't your type of humor, you might actually be able to find some other enjoyment out of it. Like I said, it reminds me of that era of gaming, and I like that a lot. So, yeah. Goat Simulator, everybody. It is definitely the most realistic of the Goat Simulators that are currently available. I feel that it would be, much more difficult to make a more realistic simulation of your average goat life. Everyday living as a goat is very hard, people, and I suggest that you treat them more fairly in the future, because you never know when they could sacrifice you to Satan for unlimited ultimate power. What is going on here? Goat party! Okay, I missed. No? No goat party? Go! Oh, jeez. I ruined their party. I'm very sorry. So, yeah, Goat Simulator, everyone. I know, it's a joke, but if I was to offer a serious critique, that would be it. So, there we go. And thank you very much to Armin at Coffee Stain Studios for giving such a small channel as mine the gift of the goat. And, please fix some of these more game-breaking bugs. I've had it crash on me like twice. And also, it doesn't like to be filmed that much. I had to, like, go to the task manager the first time I tried to film this thing. It's not extremely stable, but, yeah. Goat Sim. Give it a shot if you want. And, I'll see you guys next time, I think. I am a goat. Oh, crap. Ow. I'm floating on a broom. Why am I floating on a broom, you might ask? Well, the answer is deeply philosophical in nature and would probably confuse you if I attempted to explain fully, but, yeah. Sick backflip!